Hello everyone. Today we are going to see the different characteristics of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Uh, Depending on the structural and functional characteristics of all the living beings, they are classified in two groups. मतलब हर organism में डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, उनके फंक्शन अलग अलग होते हैं, सेल का स्ट्रक्चर अलग होता है और इन डिफरेंसेस को कंसिडर करके organisms or cells are placed in two groups. One is prokaryotic cell and another one is eukaryotic cell. And the organisms which are included, which have prokaryotic cell are called as prokaryotes, and the organisms having eukaryotic cell is called as eukaryotes. Now we will see the different characteristics of both the cells one by one. Before starting, we should know what is prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So the first and important part is definition. So prokaryotic cell is any unicellular organism that does not contain a clearly defined nucleus and membrane bound organelles. Means prokaryotes or prokaryotic organisms are unicellular organism or single cell organism which does not contain nucleus and any of the membrane bound organelles. Organelles in prokaryotic cells are absent. Then eukaryotes. Eukaryotes are the any type of organism which contains well defined nucleus and membrane bound organelles. These eukaryotic cells are highly evolved cells. Then the second point is cell size. The cell size of eukaryotic cell varies from 0.2 micrometer to 2 micrometer. This is the size range of prokaryotic cell from 0.2 to 2 micrometer. And as compared to prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell is very large in size and its size range varies from 10 to 100 micrometer. Then different types of cell organelles like nucleus. Nucleus in prokaryotic cell, as we have discussed earlier, it is absent. But on the other hand, in eukaryotic cell, nucleus is present. Then nucleolus, similar like nucleus, nucleolus is also absent in prokaryotic cell, but it is present in eukaryotic cell. Then the next characteristic is DNA replication. How does replication process is carried out in this cell? In prokaryotic cell, the entire genome or entire genetic material gets replicated at once. Means एक ही टाइम में पूरी replication की process carry out हो जाती है. On the other hand, in eukaryotic cell, it is highly regulated with selective origin and sequences. रेप्लिकेशन की प्रोसेस जो भी यूकैरियोटिक सेल में कैरी आउट होती है उसमें डिपेंडिंग ऑन द स्पेसीज द ओरिजिन साइट द रेप्लिकेशन मेथड या फिर सीक्वेंस एंड द एंड ऑफ द रेप्लिकेशन प्रोसेस इज हाईली regulated. Then the organism type. The prokaryotes are the most primitive organism and these are single celled organism or unicellular organisms consist of prokaryotic cell. On the other hand, eukaryotic cell is present in multicellular organisms like plants, fungi, animals. They consist of eukaryotic cell. Then the next characteristics is presence of histone. The prokaryotic cell lack the ability to produce histone proteins, means histones are absent in prokaryotic cell, but in eukaryotic cell histones are present. The next characteristic is presence of different types of organelles. As we have seen earlier, prokaryotic cell does not contain any type of membrane bound organelles, means the different types of organelles are absent in prokaryotic cell. If we consider about eukaryotic cell consists of different types of cell organelles which are membrane bound. For example, nucleus, mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, etc. are present in eukaryotic cell. Then next characteristics is ribosome. It is the most important characteristics which differentiate both the type of cell is the presence of ribosome. Ribosome in prokaryotic cell is 70S type, which is a smaller ribosome, and in eukaryotic cell larger ribosome is present which is of 80S type. Then the growth rate or generation type. As compared to eukaryotic cell, the prokaryotic cell has the growth rate faster, means as the cell size of prokaryotic cell is smaller and the replication process also takes place at once. So the generation time required for the prokaryotic cell is smaller as or lesser as compared to eukaryotic cell. So it can grow and multiply faster at faster rate. Then in eukaryotic cell as compared to prokaryotic cell, the growth rate of eukaryotic cell is slower. Then the next point is cell wall composition. Cell wall of prokaryotic cell is slightly complex and it is present in all the type of prokaryotes. जितने भी species प्रोकैरियोट्स में इंक्लूडेड है, उन सभी सेल्स में सेल वॉल प्रेजेंट होती है. If we consider about eukaryotic cell, the cell wall is simple and it is not present in all the type of cells. For example, in plants, cell wall is made up of cellulose. Then in fungi, the cell wall is made up of chitin. But in animal cell, the cell wall is absent. And then ability to store hereditary information means जो भी हमारी जेनेटिक कोडिंग होगी या फिर जो भी हमारे जेनेटिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होंगे वो एंसेस्टर से न्यू जनरेशन को पास करने की एबिलिटी. This ability to store hereditary information is present in both the type of cell. In prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, both the cell consist the ability to store the hereditary information and pass to new generation. Then the presence of flagella. Generally, most of the cells of prokaryotes consist the presence of flagella, which is made up of two types of proteins or two proteins. On the other hand, simple eukaryotic cell of some species consist flagella, but which is made up of multiple microtubules. Then the metabolism process. Metabolism in prokaryotic cell may take either by anaerobic process, means in the absence of oxygen, or in aerobic conditions, means in the presence of oxygen. Similar like prokaryotic cell, in eukaryotic cell also depending on the species, metabolism process may undergone through anaerobic condition or in aerobic condition. Then the different examples of prokaryotic cell includes all the type of unicellular prokaryotes for example bacteria and other smaller organisms. And example of eukaryotic cell are fungi, plants, animals, etc. These were the few differentiating characteristics of eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cell. These diagram give us the simple idea of prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Thank you.